But the silver stocks have such incredible leverage that I overweight the silver stocks relative to physical silver. Physical silver for me is almost an orphan. Most of my physical precious metals ownership is in gold with a lower amount in platinum.
What is good, Stackers University? I just love that clip from Uncle Rick Rule because I find him to be one of the few gurus or experts that's truly telling how it is. And he tells you how you can really make life-changing money in this sector. But the other day I was watching an interview when another very well-known guru said the quiet part out loud in a true moment of honesty and self-reflection. Who was that person and what did they say?
There's people that say, oh man, he makes so much sense. I'm putting myself on the gold standard and selling everything and buying gold. Don't do that. You want to balance your portfolio, which means a little bit of metals, probably going to serve you well. You'll sleep well at night. You won't be mad at me. You won't be mad at yourself. I would say I've just beaten myself up slightly because I think perhaps I didn't emphasize that enough.
We need to talk about one of the bigger challenges associated with investing in precious metals, which is that the market is incredibly opaque. Whenever there is a lack of transparency, it almost always results in these high levels of rumors, conspiracy theories, and general misinformation. Let's be honest, there just isn't a market that's less transparent, has less true price discovery, or accurate supply and demand data, inventory data, or ownership declaration than the gold and silver markets. For many of us, that's the thing that we love about precious metal investing, and it's also the same thing that drives us nuts, especially because they're often critical to our understanding of our markets. For example, how many of you have purchased metals over the years just to have that unfortunate experience of losing them in a mysterious boating accident? So with all these boating accidents, how exactly are we to know how large or small silver inventories are around the world? Yes, COMEX and LME inventories are being drained by investors, but it's not like that silver purchase by investors is going to silver heaven to never be seen again. For the right price, all that silver will be sold back and returned to inventories. I bring all this up because the very nature of the metals market makes it really challenging for us to determine how we should set up our portfolios, especially when so many of the so-called experts and the big names almost exclusively talk about buying physical gold and silver. We hear it over and over again. You heard what Rick Rule said earlier about not having physical silver, but listen to this part.
But the silver stocks have such incredible leverage that I overweight the silver stocks relative to physical silver. I don't consider silver to be an insurance asset the way I consider gold to be an insurance asset. I own gold for fear purposes, not for greed purposes. I own silver for greed purposes.
Well, this is going to sound like blasphemy, but maybe, just maybe, we as the average investors have been sold a bill of goods by all those people pushing you to buy your metals from them or their company that they represent. After all, let's be clear, they push and promote metals, but their real business and how they really make their money is by selling you those metals. I'm not saying that we don't need physical gold or silver in our hands. We absolutely do. But what concerns me is when I hear people talk and all they say is that I'm just going to have nothing but physical metals. It's not a bad decision, but it is not exactly the most optimal decision either. Listen to what David Morgan had to say.
In the 10 rules of silver investing, I say it. Rule number 10 is, too much of a good thing is too much. It's like cough syrup. If you take too much, it's not going to make you well. It's going to hurt you. But there's kind of three phases. There's the very conservative. I just need enough. If something really goes awry, that'd be like 10%. I'm pretty sure things are going to go awry. That's like 15%. And I'm certain something bad's going to happen. That's 20%. But no more than that. I would say I've just beaten myself up slightly because I think perhaps I didn't emphasize that enough.
I think some of y'all have heard this 20 to 25% allocation number before somewhere else. Let me think where you could have heard that before. In fact, if you know the answer, go ahead and put that in the comments. We hear over and over again that gold and silver are money, and I agree. We hear everyone talking about the depth of the 60-40 portfolio, but rarely do these experts talk about portfolio allocation. How much gold and silver do we really need? Or how much of it should be in physical versus stocks? Some of you are probably thinking, how could we not be incredibly bullish right now and not gobble up all the physical gold, silver, and platinum we can get our hands on? This is especially true when you factor in that 71% of asset managers have less than 1% exposure to gold. So you know that number is even smaller for silver. Then you look at the history of the 60-40 portfolio performance. And then you look at the commodities to equity ratio chart. And then you look at this chart of the treasury debt. And of course, this chart of how the dollar has lost its purchasing power over time. And then there's de-dollarization. So how in the world could we not want to put every dollar that we have into gold and silver? You can. I just don't think we want it all in physical gold and silver only. Listen to Uncle Rick Rule again.
Physical silver for me is almost an orphan. Most of my physical precious metals ownership is in gold with a lower amount in platinum.
He does that because, as he said, gold and platinum are insurance. And silver, well, silver is.
But the silver stocks have such incredible leverage that I overweight the silver stocks relative to physical silver.
None of this is financial advice because you have to be your own investor, but I do want you to have access to the truth, access to how this game is really played and the knowledge needed to play this game very well. This is why I started the School of Financial Wellness, which you'll be hearing more about in the coming weeks. We're in the process of developing courses on money mindset, budgeting, credit optimization, investing, as well as offering personal coaching services for those of you who want some extra support or accountability partner or cheerleader encouraging and motivating you throughout your journey. If any of that is interest of you, starting April 1st, we are doing free 30-minute coaching calls as a free service for those of you that support this channel. There's no upselling or anything like that. It's you sitting down with me covering whatever topic you like. We've done some of these for the gang over on Discord and they were great. One of the guys, we coached him through the home buying process. He was able to go out and buy a home the right way. We are not offering a ton of these sessions, so it is first come, first serve, and first week of April is already booked up. So if you're interested, click on the link. Sincerely, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope we really get wealthy together during this bull market. In the comments section, share something in your life that you're thankful for or appreciative of, or just put an A+ in the comments and let everyone know that you always stack smarter and never stop learning.